Hi, my name is Matthew Urbaniak from FBAop.com. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. Today, what I'm going to discuss is an issue that comes up with sellers who do merchant fulfilled orders on Amazon, and it's the A to Z claims. And this is a way that Amazon deals with customer complaints to get them refunds when the merchant is denying the refund. So these can be a little scary because when you read online that other Amazon sellers that are experienced supposedly and they're going through these processes, they always complain that Amazon always sides with the customer, and it's a scary process. It hurts your account, can get your account shut down if you get too many of these, and you lose money because when you refund the customer 100% of the money for a product that you don't get back or that's damaged, you're losing money on those. So this is all a scary thing. However, what I'm gonna do when you join me on the screen over the next few minutes is I'm gonna break down all the messages I dealt with the customer, how I responded to them in a professional way, all the messages I received from Amazon and how I responded to them, and the end result. And some of the takeaways that I took, that I learned from the process of going through this for the first time. I am going to be coming out with some amazing content in the next week. It is going to literally blow your mind. Subscribe to the channel if you want to have access to that content. If you want to get notified, please like the show, and I will see you on the screen. Winning an Amazon A to Z claim. Money saved is money earned. Remember that, my friends. These can be pretty scary when you receive them because you think, at least from what I think, that they seem to be impossible to win. And with that in mind, you feel like you're wasting time and you're fighting an uphill battle. And that could be true, but with everything on Amazon, it's a process and you just need to work through it patiently and professionally. You may get a positive result. Stay positive, keep that positive mindset, and you may be surprised at what you get. So let me walk you through my experience. And so I had a customer that ordered the item back in October. The item was in the customer's possession for 43 days. The return period, the policy is 30 days. They can return it, no questions asked. The customer submitted a return 43 days after the item was received. I received the request in early to mid-December. This customer contacted me in mid-December asking for a return with a return code of reason received wrong item. Now, there are some customers that game the system to get free returns. And this code is probably an abused code that a lot of customers will use that like to abuse the system. Now, I do want to say, I think probably 90 to 99% of customers are honest. They're not there ripping you off. But, you get that 1 out of 100 that miscode something. So I immediately followed up with this, trying to keep it professional. Thank you for contacting us. We reviewed photographic records of your order and have confirmed that we sent you the product you specifically ordered. Would you please provide us with a picture of what was sent to you so that we can compare it to our records? Thank you. Now, I always photograph every item I send out merchant fulfilled with the shipping label of the person that it's going to. And then I package it in a box immediately when it's right next to the same shipping label. So my error rate should be essentially 0. Because keeping the product next to the shipping label, I'm photographing it, and hey, I can make errors, that's fine, but I would see it in the picture because my process is to have as much as an error-free as possible, keeping the item next to the shipping label that it's going out to. So I was awaiting the response from the customer, and nada. They did not get back to me. So I was like, okay, I'll keep this return open and see what happens. And perhaps that was a mistake, keeping the return open. I'm not sure. This is the first A to Z claim that I'm going to run into. So 6 days later, I get a message from Amazon customer service. The customer said the wrong item was on this order. He ordered the one with blah, blah, blah. And what he received was yada, yada, yada. Misspelled here by Amazon. Can you said nay. them a prepaid return label so that he can return this and be refunded. Thanks. This shows to me maybe these Amazon employees are very overworked and they have to get this message out as quickly as possible. There's no punctuation in this message. Nothing is rightly formatted with this message. It's just typed very quickly. This is what I received. So the customer, it's like the customer reached out to Amazon customer service. So this was headed in the wrong direction for me, it seemed like. But I decided to reach back out to the customer and say the facts. Keep it professional. The return was requested outside the return period. If you would like to continue with the return, we will send you a shipping label and you will be charged a 20% restocking fee. The item must be in original condition as shipped. Thank you, and please confirm this is how you would like to proceed. Now, I read up that when customers want to do return on merchant fulfilled items, you have certain rights where you can charge a restocking fee. So I researched that before I sent this. So I spent a lot of time researching what the capabilities or possibilities within Amazon's terms of service. I want my rights to be justified and fulfilled, as well as making sure the customer gets good customer service. This item, given that this customer is just really unresponsive, I wasn't even going to charge a restocking fee prior, but the customer did not respond to me for over 2 weeks, surprisingly. And they say this, maybe in a sarcastic way, or maybe just they are confused, I don't know. But 17 days later, the customer messages me, when reviewing the email sent by seller, it implies a refund label was sent and such label hasn't been received. Perhaps I have misread the email. Need direction. Well, perhaps, I did say, just agree to the terms and, I would issue a label. But I could have been a little bit more detailed in my response. So when they wrote this to me 17 days later, so this is going on for like 3 months at this point. 12 hours later, I wrote this. Okay, 12 hours later, I write them. Since the return was requested outside the return period, this is kind of and this is basically a duplication of the previous message. However, I added some things at the end. Since the return was requested outside the return period, if you would like to continue with the return, we will send you a shipping label and you will be charged a 20% restocking fee. The item must be in original unopened condition. That's essentially the message that they didn't understand. However, I added this. Thank you, and please confirm yes in bold, and we'll be happy to issue you a return label. Okay, we'll be happy to issue a return label to you. I tried to add additional text that I forgot to add in the first message. They didn't get back to me for 17 days on that first message. I'm following up within 24 hours for this customer, and they take a week to 2 weeks to follow up or more. And the next day, the customer files an A to Z claim. My first one, boom. And I'm like, what? How do I even handle these claims? I've never dealt with them. It made me nervous because, if you have too many of these claims on your account, Amazon could close your account or suspend you. It was a worry of mine because it's new. Anything that's new and confusing, or you're not knowledgeable on it, it can be a little frightening, especially when you're dealing with running your business, selling right now about $400,000 to $500,000 a year in sales, and looking to sell $1 million or $2 million in the next year. Having the idea that certain customers that they keep complaining, your account can get shut down, is kind of scary. I wanted to handle this as professionally as I possibly could. I started thinking, how am I going to handle this? The item code for this, again, this A to Z claim, again, is the same thing. Wrong item are completely different, and the seller never provided a label for this specific item. And so we have a message trail of me being very detailed and requesting certain information, the customer just ignoring it and not getting back to me right away. And the next day, I respond to the claim and be professional and just state the facts. When I look at a lot of the IP issues that people have, and you see the POAs, the plan of actions people submit and all that, the important thing is to not be emotional, to be very professional, and just be stating the basic factual information. So this is what I wrote. You can see it here. The customer's reason of return, different from what I ordered, is incorrect. Fact 1. Fact 2. We have photographic evidence that the item shipped matches what the customer ordered. Fact 2. Okay. Fact 3. Item was sent in October. Customer requested return 43 days after delivery. This was out of policy. Fact 3. So I have 3 reasons to not grant this return. And then my contrition to Amazon is, we will issue a return label if you disagree with our reasoning. Now this message is going to Amazon, so I'm addressing it to them. We will issue a return label if you, Amazon, disagree with the above reasons. Thank you. That's it. I had no problem issuing a return label, but if the policy is the policy, if it's 30 days, if I delivered what the customer ordered and the customer worked this out with me, I'm going to go back to the policies and say, these are the 3 things that I did correct. Is this what Amazon requires, or do they want me to do more going forward? So if I didn't do enough to satisfy Amazon standards, then I will just take a hit on this order. I'd rather just keep my business running and learn from it. What I was surprised to receive the same day I received a response from Amazon. I was very surprised that they got back to me as quickly as they did, and they said, we have denied an A to Z claim for X on order XXXXX. No further action is required from you at this time. We have not counted the claim against your order defect rate. And I felt amazing. Yahoo, the end. It just felt really, really good. To actually come across something I've never had to deal with and get through it. So the keys to remember from this, I have some key lessons, key takeaways for you. Be patient and be fair with customers. Can't lose your cool in business, in any business you do. Amazon's just another business, and we want to stay patient and be clear with your communication with customers. Even if a customer is being unclear, they're not completing sentences, their punctuation's off, they seem like they're just whipping off like acronyms and, and all that stuff. You have no idea, the stuff that you'll receive. Just be patient and fair and professional. And one of the keys is always have evidence on your side. So always photograph every item before shipping. It takes you probably an extra few seconds, and if you think about it, if you're shipping off an item that's $50 and there's a potential for a total loss on that item because a customer is claiming something, if you have photographic evidence, you have one leg up over them. Not that you're trying to have a leg up, but you have one basis of fact that proves that what you sent was what you sent, and if you're sending out hundreds of items a week, you're really not going to remember whether you sent that item the customer the correct item. You really won't. I mean, it's very, very difficult. What if you're doing FBA, you're sending out, let's say, 800 items a week on FBA, you're merchant fulfilling 200 items a week. If you're doing all that, there is no way you will be 100% absolutely sure you sent that customer the item. Now, if you photograph it, it could be, you could be close to 100% sure that you did indeed send them the item. All right, be professional throughout the whole process. Again, be patient, and lastly, don't believe all the negative stuff you read out there that this or that is impossible and Amazon only cares about this or that. Work through the experience the best you can. Whatever adversity you come across through your e-commerce business or through life, don't always listen to what other people say. I think we all know that, but we really need to understand that and live that, because there's a lot of negativity out there in the world, and if you let that drive your decision making and how you handle yourself, then you're going to get negative outcomes. If you just look at things with an open mind and an open perspective, and in a positive way, as in anything's possible and not impossible, then you might actually start receiving or seeing positive outcomes like this. And it was well worth my time. The monetary reward of saving that money, it was worth a couple minutes of sending professional messages out. Well worth it. So thanks for joining me, guys. I will be continuing to put out valuable content. Subscribe to the channel if you would like to receive that. I appreciate you guys for sticking in there with me on this episode. Have a wonderful day, and Happy New Year.